Oh, hello, boys and girls. You're there. Peter, they're here. Come on. I know how excited you are. Come. Oh, he's been so excited to see you. Say hello. Hello, boys and girls. I'm so pleased to see you. Been waiting for you. There we are. I told you they were coming today. Yes, definitely. Right, so now we're going to read a lovely story. Yes, and the story today is the tale of two bad mice, and they were very bad, weren't they? Yes, are you sitting comfortably, Peter? Boys and girls, are you sitting comfortably? Good, then here we are. Once upon a time, there was a very beautiful doll's house. It was red brick with white windows, and it had real muslin curtains and a front door and a chimney. How lovely. It belonged to two dolls called Lucinda and Jane. At least it belonged to Lucinda, but she never ordered meals. Jane was the cook, but she never did any cooking. Because the dinner had been bought ready-made in a box full of shavings. Oh, I see. It was like a takeaway. There were 2 red lobsters and a ham, a fish, a pudding, and some pears and oranges. Lovely. They would not come off the plates, but they were extremely beautiful. It's odd, isn't it, Peter? What do you think about that? One morning, Lucinda and Jane had gone out for a drive in the doll's perambulator. Pram. We call it a pram. There was no one in the nursery and it was very quiet. Presently, there was a little scuffling, scratching noise in a corner near the fireplace. Oh, yes. Where there was a hole under the skirting board. Tom Thumb put out his head for a moment and then popped it in again. Tom Thumb was a mouse. A minute afterwards, Hunca, his wife, Hunca. Now, Beatrix Potter, the lady who made you and wrote this, she had a mouse called Hunca. She loved it. Anyway, Hunca, his wife, put her head out too. And when she saw there was no one in the nursery, she ventured out on the oilcloth under the coal box. They weren't frightened, were they? The doll's house stood at the other side of the fireplace. Tom Thumb and Hunca went cautiously across the hearth rug. They pushed the front door. It was not fast. It meant open. Tom Thumb and Hunca went upstairs and peeped into the dining room. Then they squeaked with joy. Such a lovely dinner was laid out upon the table. There were tin spoons and lead knives and forks and 2 dolly chairs, all so convenient. Tom Thumb set to work at once to carve the ham. It was a beautiful, shiny yellow streaked with red. The knife crumpled up and hurt him. He put his finger in his mouth. Oh. It is not broad enough. It is hard. You have a try, Hunca. Hunca stood up in the chair, as my little dog's trying to do here, and chopped at the ham with another lead knife. It's as hard as hams of the cheesemongers, said Hunca. The ham broke off the plate with a jerk and rolled under the table. Let it alone, said Tom Thumb. Give me some fish, Hunca. Ooh. Hunca tried every tin spoon in turn. The fish was glued to the dish. Not much good, is it? Then Tom Thumb lost his temper. He put the ham in the middle of the floor and hit it with the tongs and with a shovel. Bang, bang, smash, smash. Oh. The ham flew all into pieces, for underneath the shiny paint it was made of nothing but plaster. Oh, they couldn't eat it. It was pretend, Peter, it was pretend. Then there was no end to the rage and disappointment of Tom Thumb and Hunca. They broke up the pudding, the lobsters, the pears and the oranges. As the fish would not come off the plate, they put it into the red-hot crinkly paper fire in the kitchen, but it would not burn either, because that wasn't proper fire either. Oh, yeah. Tom Thumb went up the kitchen chimney and looked out at the top. There was no soot. While Tom Thumb was up the chimney, Hunca had another disappointment. She found some tiny canisters upon the dresser labelled Rice Coffee Sago. But when she turned them upside down, there was nothing inside except red and blue beans. Wasn't their lucky day, was it? Then those mice set to work to do all the mischief they could. Peter, do you hear that? All the mischief they could. Well, you're naughty, but you wouldn't do that. I know you wouldn't. especially Tom Thumb. He took Jane's clothes out of the chest of drawers in her bedroom and he threw them out of the top floor window. Little monkey, little mouse. But when Munca had a frugal mind, after pulling half the feathers out of Lucinda's bolster, that's like a long pillow, she remembered that she herself was in want of a feather bed. With Tom Thumb's assistance, she carried the bolster downstairs and across the hearthrug. It was difficult to squeeze the bolster into the mouse hole, but they managed it somehow. They were very clever little mice, weren't they? Then Munca went back and fetched a chair, a bookcase, a birdcage, and several small odds and ends. I like that, odds and ends. The bookcase and the birdcage refused to go into the mouse hole. Good, I'm pleased to hear it. Munca left them behind the coal box and went to fetch a cradle. Little madam. Munca was just returning with another chair when suddenly there was a noise of talking outside upon the landing. The mice rushed back to their hole and the dolls came into the nursery. Good. What a sight met the eyes of Jane and Lucinda. Oh, Lucinda sat upon the upset kitchen stove and stared. And Jane leant across the kitchen dresser and smiled. But neither of them made any remark. Oh, shame. The bookcase and the birdcage were rescued from under the coal box. But Munca has got the cradle and some of Lucinda's clothes. Poor Lucinda. She also has some useful pots and pans and several other things. Little rascals. The little girl that the doll's house belonged to said, I will get a doll dressed like a policeman. Look, there's the policeman. Yes, that's a very good idea, little girl, very good idea. But the nurse said, I will set a mouse trap. Oh, a mouse trap, and little mice get caught. So, that is the story of the two bad mice. But they were not so very naughty after all, because Tom Thumb paid for everything he broke. He found a crooked sixpence under the hearthrug. And upon Christmas Eve coming soon, isn't it? He and Munca stuffed it into one of the stockings of Lucinda and Jane. Lovely. And very early every morning, before anybody is awake, Munca comes with her dustpan and her broom to sweep the dolly's house. Oh, well, that's a lovely ending. Look, there she is. There's Munca with the brush. Oh, well, they weren't so naughty. Rather naughty, but turned out nice, didn't it? Oh, I do love Beatrix Potter's books, don't you? Yes. Oh, and I love you too. Ooh, my little rabbit in your little blue jacket. Well, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed that. Did you enjoy it, Peter? Oh, yes. You love sitting there, don't you? You love sitting there, yes. Well, shall we say goodbye until the next time to the little boys and girls? We love it when they come, don't we? Yes, we do. So, say goodbye. Bye-bye, boys and girls. Bye-bye. We love you very much and thank you for coming to see us. Please come again. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye, boys and girls. Bye.